back up in this thing. Ready to get some on that wax.
Another session with the bros. BrosTalk. Where the beer's ice cold. BrosTalk. Another session with the bros. BrosTalk. Come and tell us what you know. BrosTalk.
Hey, Murphy got a new documentary. All right, well.
Glad I've seen Sean today.
What up, peoples and tweeples out there? It's your boy T. Broski. Got my main man King Denham in the building. Hey man, this is BrosTalk. Hey, we got the homies, the player, the fellas. Man, we got a long lost pal. We ain't seen in a whole wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what I'm saying? Bars. But introduce yourself, players.
What's going on, y'all? Corey.
Orlando. What's good?
Man, how y'all boys been, man?
Chilling, man. Just,
Literally chilling, right?
chilling, living.
Like literally, it's getting cold out this joint, boy.
Yeah, I can't stand it. I'm a little bitch when it comes to being cold. I'm ready for March, April to come back around.
Jesus Christ, that boy skipping.
The entire holiday season.
Yeah, everything. Fuck it all, man. I don't care.
About Halloween, Thanksgiving, New Year's, Christmas.
None of that.
Valentine's Day, nothing.
Nothing. That's
Ready for the summer, baby.
Shit, man, I'm doing good, except for I will say this morning, my other half, she makes me breakfast sometimes. And she, when I'm leaving, she's like, "Oh, you want some salsa?" And I said, "Nope. I got salsa in the fridge at work." So I go to work, fucking put my shit on the table, go to the fridge. I don't have no salsa at work. And I don't mean like, oh, I used it all or I lost it. Like, I mean someone took that shit. Bro, I was so fucking heated because I can't buy that salsa. Like, it was a person selling tamales that I bought it from. So I don't know that person. I can't go buy more of it. It's just gone.
Damn.
Other than that, though, I'm doing good.
Damn, so how you gonna fix that problem from happening again?
I guess I'm just not gonna put shit in the fridge at work anymore.
Jesus Christ, you gotta have a better scheme than that. Like, you gotta like put that out there. Hey, keep your stuff. Stop eating my stuff, jerks.
Oh, I was like, hey, I'm gonna burn this place down. Who the fuck ate my salsa? And then no one said anything. So now
Definitely borderline terroristic threat, but
yeah, that's why I
wouldn't
didn't
recommend that.
actually do it.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't recommend that. But hey, before we do get into this podcast, y'all boys ever seen Him, the movie?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Nah.
Damn. Sucks. Okay. Well, we got to move past that one then.
Like, the movie sucks, or it sucks that we didn't see it?
Both.
All right.
Because one, I wanted to talk about it. Two,
should have told us to watch it.
I didn't watch it to talk about it, so we can't even talk about it.
You should have told us to watch it. I'd have watched it.
I tried to ask you about the topics.
Yeah, but see the fact, but the fact that you just said that you should have said something so we would watch it. Do you know about the movie?
Yeah, I know about the movie.
Why you ain't watch it then?
Because it didn't interest me. I didn't think it was going to be good, so I didn't watch it.
Boom. See?
Yeah.
But if you would have asked me to watch it so that we could discuss I would have watched it, bro.
True. I just assumed you just, watch movies sometimes. Just maybe that's one of the ones that y'all just would have just tried just cause. Yeah.
No, I haven't. It hasn't reached like my rotation yet. Like maybe in like another 3 to 6 months, I might pop it on. But like, nah.
I watch like 10 movies a year.
It didn't catch my attention.
Yeah, I watched like 10 movies a year. That shit had no shot.
A movie person like that.
You guys are wild. You guys maniacs. Well, that ruins that. You know what I mean? Thanks for ruining that first topic, guys. Lando's back on the show though, so that's like that's been
You
hot.
didn't put it in the topic list. If you wanted me to talk about it, I would have definitely watched it so we could talk about it, my guy.
Oh no, man. It ain't. I just wanted to bash it, really. I had a lot of bashing to go on with that, but
I mean, I'm here for it.
yeah, but it doesn't make sense because if
No,
I tell you stuff like you'd be like, "What?" It don't even. I don't even get it.
It
But
happens a lot though.
oh, okay. Uh, well, we'll jump right into it then. Um, Football obviously has been going on. We can say this. Well, yeah, the Browns, the issue that's going on in the quarterback region, um, based off of how Dylan Gabriel's been performing lately, last few games. There's a lot of people that feel he's been underperforming. Out of their last 3 or 4 games that he's been starting, they only won one, I think, or two, or one, I want to say, and that was against not Detroit. I don't care. The Panthers.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not sure.
But either way, a lot of people had a lot to say about the whole Dylan Gabriel play and the lack of SHEDEUR play. Kevin Stefani, Steph, you know his name, KS. That guy,
There you go.
he's pretty much made it clear, flat out clear, that they're going with Dylan Gabriel. SHEDEUR is not an option. Some people even say so. Well, the injury report when SHEDEUR was supposedly on the injury report, that was crazy. But all that going on, do you think that Cleveland's flat out done with him, or their coaches? And then what's the like? How does SHEDEUR overcome this, or what should he do? How should he move? Does he request a trade? Do we ride his contract? What y'all think?
Hold
I
on.
think
Oh, go ahead.
I think he should request a trade. Like I don't think if they intend on not using him, then why write out the contract? Like I guess maybe I get staying healthy, and then at the end of your contract, but you don't have nothing on film to show anybody, so you don't have any value at the end of that contract. So you might as well try to get a trade right now and try to build some value right now.
Yeah. Okay. I could definitely see that. Yeah, because it's. But do you don't think so? You don't think there's any? You don't think his value is still up? Like even if he just rolled the bench, and rolled the contract out, so it's like the good quote unquote thing to do. You know what I mean? Like you fulfilled your contract with this team, and then you seeked further. You don't think that his everything he's done previously still matters? Or are you like 2 years, 3 years sitting on the bench, you're not going to perform the same?
I mean, you gotta like I don't know because like everything that they have like I guess on film would be from college. It wouldn't be from the professional level. They would if they're trying to sign him, wouldn't they want to see how he would play at the professional level? Wouldn't that matter?
Yeah, but based off of what's going on, you're not gonna see him. So like
So
you
then request a trade so that you can try to get something on film so that you can try to get a better deal, right?
I don't really know anything else that you really could do in his position.
ride it out.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess those are what I'm saying outside of just
Riding
waiting
it
out the
out, yeah.
contract or, saying, hey, I'm going to leave. Like, there's really not much you can do. What I thought was crazy is that whether it was 1 or 2 games, I don't know, but I know one of the games that they won, they ended up winning by like quite a bit. And you kind of, at least I thought, that they were going to put Shedeur Sanders in the game to kind of give him some reps. And they gave Stefanski or whatever his name is a bunch of shit because they were like, y'all were up and you kept Dylan Gabriel in. And, he was basically saying, well, yeah, we want to give all the reps to Dylan Gabriel because there's no like he's the guy. And I just wonder like why he's so like confident, like that's my guy. Like, what does he see, or does he just like, for some reason, I don't know. It's just weird to me, because from everything that I see and read, like, at least want to try and play him, and see what happens. Like, the season, I won't say it's a wash, but like, it's a good time to experiment and see what you got. And I just don't see what the issue is with at least seeing, giving him some playing time and see what happens. You saw what happened in the preseason, so I don't see why it's so against it. But at the same time, I did read one thing that was saying, in the locker room, it may kind of change the dynamic, I guess, because I don't know. I guess he has to. If Shedeur Sanders does really well, it opens up this basket of like, well, why didn't you play Shedeur Sanders? So I almost kind of think, or I wonder if he's just kind of doing it so he didn't even have to deal with that. Because if Shedeur Sanders goes off, all the questions you have right now are even more justified because they're like, you put him in and he did this, this, and this. And look at what Dylan Gabriel's doing. You're not going to try him. So I think he just was like, nope, I'm going to tuck him away. As long as Dylan Gabriel stays healthy, I'm not even going to mess with him. That's what I think the approach is, which I think is wrong, but
Yeah. If he did play him, right? And obviously, I personally think that Shedeur is a better quarterback in arm, feet, IQ, all that. I think he's better than Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel might be faster. I don't know 40 times, but Dylan Gabriel might be a little bit faster. But everything else, Shedeur has him in. So like putting him in and he does excel, it does make people question your thought process, like as a coach. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that is one of them things where he's just like, fuck it, I'm gonna tuck him up. You know what I'm saying? And just do it that way. I personally don't think it's that. I read a little article where they was talking about his dad was a coach in the NBA for like I think AI and or somebody in NBA. I have to look it up, man. But yeah, his dad didn't want to play him, and it's like, oh, it kind of runs in the nature. That's a speculation, you know what I mean? But it definitely would make sense if it was accurate, because based off what we're seeing, you just don't like Shedeur. Period. Are the Browns GM or the Browns head office, head shed, the owner, y'all don't like Shedeur. Whether it's because of his dad, his flamboyant, he ain't riding in rookie cars coming to the NFL. Like he's not the average rookie. So like you the need that the money thing over people, you can't do that to him. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't beast him with money. He's making $1 million a year.
yeah.
And respectfully, that Trump chances this dude. Like he can do more than that. He can do a lot more and make more than $1 million a year than to play football, right? But this is something that he loves to do, and he's getting shunned. He's getting tucked away. He's getting shelved. It's crazy to me because we all know, majority of the people know, a lot of people assume, and a lot of people believe that he's better than the competition that's out there in front of him. And he's not given the opportunity to A, play, B, start, or even show, hey, I'm not better than him, or he's better than me, or I'm better than whatever. He's not even given that opportunity, which is crazy. And their coaches put it out there numerous of times. Like, I'm not going with him. Shadeur's not running reps with the ones. I want Dylan Gabriel, and that's probably the best thing I think I've heard him say, and I agree with 100%. If I got my quarterback that I'm invested in, Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur, Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, don't matter. Whoever I'm invested in, if I'm invested in that person, I personally agree with him saying that he should get all the reps with the ones. Why? Because you're going to build up that camaraderie with those guys. I don't want nobody else coming in throwing the ball differently to build up any type of, like you said, Corey, animosity within the locker room to where I like the way Shedeur throws the ball better to me than Dylan Gabriel does. So I might do things to make Dylan Gabriel look worse or do something that like talk shit, you know what I'm saying? Or just build a divide. So yeah, I agree with that part of my ones, my starting quarterback who I'm invested in, regardless of what y'all think, I'm gonna run him with the ones. And respectfully, My 2 gonna go with the 2s, and 3's gonna go with the 3s. Period. Point blank. Then the battle is gonna be in my 2 and 3. My 3 is gonna be trying to overtake my 2. That's the battle. I think that was the best thing that he ever said. Everything other than that, I don't agree with that dude at all. And I think he's lack of better words, a shitty coach. You know what I mean? And or he makes shitty decisions. And uh if it's based on what you think about Shedeur, then like that's that. This is work. So if you have a personal problem with me, take that shit up with me after work. Period. Take that shit up with me on personal time. Don't talk to me about personal shit at work. And that's why I really hate about the NFL. Like even any major sports, your personal life bleeds into that so much. It's crazy. But so
Well, for instance, let's say that you're in charge of hiring people, right? They say, hey, this is your department. You're in charge of hiring people. Cool. So we do a bunch of interviews, and then the owner comes in and says, well, you know what? I want you to hire this guy. And you're like, well, I don't want to hire this guy. Yes. Oh, too bad. He's hired. And it's like, but I like this guy. This guy fits into what I want to do. But the owner of the company decided, no, you're going to hire this guy. What do you do as the person who's running the show?
well, obviously the person running the show is the owner. Because obviously you're just a figurehead at that point. That's not the we're talking about that's not like hiring somebody in being at a job in that type of facet is different from coaching somebody. Like at a job, I don't have to.
You're trying to get away
There's no
from what I'm
competition.
saying. Okay, so let's say that the owner lives in Virginia. He ain't got shit to do with what you're doing here in, let's say, Wisconsin. He know that, hey, I put my trust in you to run this shit right here. But I'm going to make this call and say, I really want you to hire this guy. And it's like, but I did all the research. I did all this, and this is the people I want. But he's making this call from somewhere saying, no, I want this guy to go in there. So what do you do?
Yeah, but in that scenario, you're saying.
So what I'm
in that
saying
scenario,
is Stefanski was in charge of drafting players. And from reports is Stefanski did not want to draft SHEDEUR Sanders. That came from above his head. So it wouldn't look good. It wouldn't look good for Stefanski if SHEDEUR goes in there and balls out. And if I'm Stefanski, I want to continue to coach. I want to continue to be the head coach of this team. I want to continue to get paid. So I have to make this work out. And my job hinges on this working out. If SHEDEUR Sanders comes in and balls out, they're going to look at me like I'm terrible. If Dillon Gabriel doesn't ball out, they're going to look at me like I'm terrible. The only possibility I have of saving my job is for Dillon Gabriel to work out.
Yeah, so what does SHEDEUR do?
He can't do anything. He has to play out his contract. You request a trade, then you're going to be looked at in the media as this terrible teammate. So he continues to do what he does. He talks highly about his team, keeps a positive attitude, continues to give the right answer, and just wait. He can't do anything.
Yeah, kind of stuck.
He don't care about winning.
Who's that?
Kevin Stefanski. He does not care about winning.
He probably does, but he wants to win his way because that's going to keep his job.
You think he would lose his job if he decided to put in SHEDEUR and they started winning?
Yeah.
Why?
I think he's out here. Because then they would look at him and say, you guys think he'd keep his job if he puts in SHEDEUR balls out? Well, you guys wouldn't be like, you said it earlier, you would say, everybody would be like, well, we knew this already. Why it takes so long to play him? You terrible coach.
Yeah, I'm saying he's a terrible coach because he doesn't. You're not putting the best talent out there. That's what I'm saying. So again, that's why I brought up the whole
Exactly. So the
personal
only
problem. It's a personal problem. It's not football. This has nothing to do with
again,
football.
well, again, from what I'm saying is, if the only way for him to keep his job is if Dylan Gabriel works out. So he's going to do everything he can in his power to make sure Dylan Gabriel works out.
So you think he's on the chopping block right now as a coach?
Yeah,
So Dylan Gabriel's not going to work out this
for
season.
sure.
He's going to get fired next year, or are they going to keep him around?
I don't think he's the head coach of the Browns next year.
If Dylan Gabriel doesn't work out. So what's the stat? What's the you can keep your jobs bar? What's the bar that keeps him his job? Like what does Dylan Gabriel have to do?
Get Cleveland
What
Browns
is
to the playoffs.
working out?
Get
Taking
Cleveland Browns to the playoffs.
Only way to keep the job.
Yeah, that's the only way I believe that Kevin Stefanski keeps his job is if Dylan Gabriel. The only way for them to make the playoffs is if they get good quarterback play.
Wait, so the only way he keeps his job is if they go to the playoffs, but they're not going to make the playoffs with Dylan Gabriel. But he's going to get fired if he puts in SHEDEUR and they play good, and they make it to the playoffs with SHEDEUR. He's going to get fired.
If they make it to the playoffs, and let's say they make it to the playoffs and they lose first round, so I think Stefanski's out of there.
With SHEDEUR or with Dylan Gabriel?
You just asked me if they make it to the playoffs with SHEDEUR, what would happen to the coach? I said they lose in the first round, he's done. The only way for Stefanski to keep his job, in my opinion, is if they make the playoffs with the Dylan Gabriel as quarterback. Dylan Gabriel turns around, balls out. Then they can look at Stefanski be like, "Oh, see, I told you, I know how to coach this guy." That's the only way I think he makes it.
Hey, that's. I mean, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know he was on the chopping block for one. I mean, he won Coach of the Year. He's been with the Browns for quite a while. They got to believe in something in him, I would assume. I think him as GM probably has an issue. If he said that he didn't know that was getting traded, I said that before. I think that that's a problem. So I think that might be a little flack or what you want to call it in the front office. But
last year you get a bye because Deshaun Watson's injured. Okay, well, we know that we have other pieces in place to make us a good football team. What can you do? Can you fix a quarterback problem? Sure, I can. I can bring in this guy. This is the guy who's going to fix it. But I pay attention to too much football, so.
So yes, ultimately when if they were to play SHEDEUR and he were to go off, obviously, well, let's say this. Obviously, the play that's going on in the game right now has conflict in the locker room. People want to win, right? I don't care what nobody says. If you're in the NFL, you want to win as a player. Like the ultimate goal is to make it to the Super Bowl, win that shit, get a ring, get your name down in history, make it to the Hall of Fame, personal stats and stuff like that. But as a team, I want to win. I think a lot of people on the Browns side, whether it's the players or the fans, they want to win, and putting the best player and putting the best players in to win, I think is what a lot of people really want. I definitely do. You know what I mean? I definitely look forward to seeing SHEDEUR play. Like I definitely did. I like same way with Travis Scott, Jimmy Horn, like watching Colorado. It made you want to see these guys. Well, for me, it made me want to see these guys in the NFL. Like, golly, like, these dudes are about to be cold. You know what I mean? Like to see what they're gonna develop into is dope. You know what I mean? So like,
you meant Travis Hunter, right?
huh?
You meant Travis Hunter, right?
Travis Scott.
Oh, I said Travis Hunter. Oh, my bad. Yeah, Travis Hunter.
I was like, wait, hold up.
Yeah. So yeah, seeing all these guys go in there and win, that's what you ultimately want. Well, that's what I ultimately wanted to see. So like seeing this is like you know what I mean? It's kind of like a shock. Yeah, not a it is. I didn't think his career was gonna go this way. And I think a lot of people didn't see this happening this way. So now I was like, let's see what the future holds. But if you shelf this kid for 2 years, you think he's coming out playing the same way he was capable of playing the last 2 years or is he gonna have rust to knock off? You know what I mean? Like getting back out there with the ones, so to speak.
I think he'll pick right back up. I mean, it's no different than, for instance, like you go in and you draft Aaron Rodgers and keep him on the bench for a couple of years, or you draft a Jordan Love, or you draft these guys who you don't expect to play right away. You develop them how you want them, and then when it's
Yeah,
their time to shine, they come in and go off. So I think it's
yeah,
highly possible for him to continue to play at a high level, even if he doesn't play right away.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I was thinking about. Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, they both set the bench for, 3 years or so. And you know, like if you look at Green Bay, that's one of the few things I feel like they consistently have been good at. Like they got three quarterbacks representing 98% of their starts over the last like 20 to 30 years or something like that. Like that's crazy. So it's just I think the NFL's gotten away from that and they've gotten more into the like, I drafted him, I'm gonna play him for a year, he doesn't work out, we're gonna go to someone else.
Yeah, instant gratification is real.
That's what happens when you go to terrible teams. You go to terrible teams, terrible organizations.
That definitely, like I used to, I think I said this before. I used to be really big on like, oh, this player sucks because like Daniel Jones. Like I was sold on like that dude's garbage, and then watching him this year, it's like a whole different person. So I don't know. Sometimes like you just never know like what that offensive system like sometimes they just don't click. And if they go to a different team, all of a sudden it's like, damn, that motherfucker's a beast. But over there, he couldn't do shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield was on his way out of the league,
Yeah.
and now he's an MVP candidate.
Except for he got me 4 points last week, but
Yeah.
bro, I was
But
so mad. I was like, four?
It's so crazy, man.
What do you think about May from the Patriots?
That's what I had on the bench. That dude's been consistently a
he's playing
monster.
good ball.
Yeah.
They said they
He's playing good ball.
were chanting MVP for him when he threw a touchdown.
I don't know. I think that might be a little strong. He's up there, but I don't know. I think right now it's looking like Jonathan Taylor's gonna take MVP.
No, it's definitely Josh Allen again.
You think so? Yeah, I'll be honest, I haven't really been keeping up with Buffalo, and I don't have him as a
Yeah,
QB, so other than the Detroit game and the Ravens game and then Kansas this weekend, those are the only games I've seen.
it's going to be, MVP is a quarterback award. Right now, your top runners are going to be, you're
That's true.
saying Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes,
Man,
Jonathan,
Kansas looks good.
so Saquon Barkley did, 2,000? He almost broke the record last year. He wasn't even up for MVP.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yep, so you know how hard it is for a running back to even be considered.
People just love them some quarterbacks.
What's his name? Robinson from the Falcons. They loving him. Boy, cutting up. What's his name?
Bijan.
John.
Yeah, Bijan Mustard. Yeah, he's been killing it.
Yeah, but
He was cutting up till last.
Yeah, I was about to say, except for last week when luckily he was on the guy's team I was going against, so I was happy about that. But Atlanta, I've been surprised. Like I thought Atlanta was going to be a little bit tougher than they've been this year.
Well, that's what happens when you have to play Kirk Cousins.
he's on his own my team.
And what about man, everybody got something to say about the Cowboys. So what do y'all think about them so far?
feel bad for Prescott. He's having a fucking phenomenal year, and they're not gonna make the playoffs.
Respectfully, he has good years. He's had some. He starts off pretty decent sometimes.
Except for
He's
last
just
week.
like Tony Romo 2.0. Like does great during the regular season, but just chokes in those high pressure moments.
What did he do last week?
I want to
Anything
say
good?
To be honest, I don't know what the stats were last week. I wasn't watching the Dallas game. Who did Dallas play?
They played. I don't have my laptop on, man. I can't back out the window because I tried that already.
I think they play Arizona this week, I think.
Yeah, they play Arizona this week.
Yeah, Sam, I'm using my phone for the twang.
But Dallas can't cover a soul right now.
No,
So
they can't.
that's their biggest issue is they can't cover. Oh, they played Denver last week, yeah, and
That's
that
right.
got shut down.
Yeah, I didn't watch that game. So
24-44.
Dak what go 173, 2 interceptions?
Dak had 2 interceptions, 188.
188 and 2
great
picks.
season.
Had 13 carries, 41 yards, 2 touchdowns.
41 yards. Man.
Yeah, hell, you look at Colorado, they got their ass toe up. You see what they had last game? By who they lost that? Bro, I think they had like -8 total yards or some crazy ass shit.
At halftime.
Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, against Utah.
Colorado's issue. Colorado don't have an identity, so until they find an identity, they're gonna struggle.
Well, I think that's part of one of them things where you get like you got so many superstars coming to your school, and this is one of the things. Like my nephew, I want shouts out to him, but I want him to understand that same thing too. Like once you like you're the man where you're at, right? In your little town, in your city, even if it's a big ass city, you're the man at your school. You're everything there. Everybody talk about you. Everybody know you. You're great. Hell, you might be a 5-star, 4-star, whatever. Everybody that's high caliber don't make it to the big dog team. Some of these guys, even if you make it to the big dog team, like there's everybody else. You're the man at your house, at your town, in your school. Now you come to this school, college. There's you right next to you, right next to you, right across from you. All these guys are the man. That's why they're here. That's why we're at this same level. Everybody is great. Everybody's good. You know what I mean? And you got to build and build and build and like that. But when you get all these personalities, money making, deals, sponsorships, endorsements, like you saying, and I think that's one of the things Dion. If you watch a lot of his motivational speaking, that's what he be trying to tell them. Is like y'all got to find the dog in you. I can't give it to you. You got to have it within yourself. You got to find it. And I think having big names, and not necessarily everybody on the team is big name, but just having those personalities meet together, sometimes it doesn't mesh well. You know what I mean? And not saying that like Dion can't coach. Not saying that SHEDEUR was just that good, or Travis Hunter demanded that much pressure, or our attention, or Shiloh was scaring. I'm not even saying like that team was just that much better. I think Dion's a great coach. I just think like this is a rough year. You know what I mean? Like this rough and meshing well with all them personalities. I don't think is uh one thing I don't like. I don't like the name on the back of the jersey on practice squad. Like you put your at sign. That's the individuality that I think you're talking about. That I would say that they can't find one likeness because of all of that individuality out there. And I get it. I get it wholeheartedly. You got to make your money. You got to get NIL deals. You got to get paid. You got to try to present yourself in the best light you can. And I get it. Everything's about you when it's about you. But you got to be able to put that shit to the side to be about the team at some point in time. But
yeah,
but yeah,
that's his culture. He's trying to. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. I was saying, go ahead.
So that's just the coach that he created. That's the way that he gets players to fight hard to separate. Because they do the captains, the dogs. That they do the different mark on the front of the jerseys as well. That's just his coaching strategy to get people to try hard and give their all. But I honestly think they just don't have an identity. They don't know who their best receiver is. They don't have a run game. Like they can't even find out who's the best quarterback on their roster right now.
Yeah,
So until
yeah,
they
and that's the
find that
issue.
out, yep, because they keep playing Salter and he's just not playing good ball.
Yep, he didn't even play in that game. Well, I didn't say he didn't play, but Ryan Stubb was the stopper. He was the main, and he had 4 for 8, 65 yards. Salter had 9 of 22 with 37 and an interception. So
Salter started.
that's
Damn. 9 of
Yeah,
22.
Salter started the
9 of
game.
22, 37 yards and one interception. Yeah, he did start. My bad. And then Staub came in, and he had 4 of 8, 50%, 65 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Uh, Rushing 44 yards, no touchdowns for Cam. Um, then you get to 6 carries, 4 yards, 1 carry, no yards, 3 carries, -2. Ryan Stubb, apparently he got sacked a few times. So he got 6 with -4. Salter, 14 carries. Aside of the 9 and 22, he had 14 carries for -4 yards. Dion
Yep,
is
number one.
dealing with some issues, brother. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, it's a lot more, defense, and they're dealing with a lot of injuries too, right? They got a lot of injuries, so it's like it's a lot that's going on over there. Outside of that, shouts out to my boy Scatterboo. I fuck with him, man. Even that's one of the dudes that I wanted to see. Um, he had confidence in college. Uh, there's people that translate well, and then there's people that, to me, when you look at football or statistics or not even statistics, when you look at just bodies and people and how they look and what they should be doing, or you know what I mean, what you're perceiving from their looks, like Scatterboo, uh, I I I thought that in Arizona, like he was just in a good system, like shit was just working out well for him. And then he gets in the NFL and it translates well. He's still a hard nosed runner downhill. He's a tough guy. Players say he's fun to be around. He's energetic, whatever, like that. That's dope. And then you got people like Christian McCaffrey. Like, just looking at this guy, respectfully, he's not supposed to be nowhere near as good as he is. Is it a system? Is he really that good? Is he just I don't know. I just look at him sometimes and be like, he shouldn't be able to do like you shouldn't be able to do that. Like these are professional athletes that you make it look crazy sometimes. You shouldn't be able to do that. They can't go to you in third and long and you get something that you shouldn't get. It's like that's crazy. And I say all that to say, Scatterboo's what like that to me. Like you look at him, he does stuff in the NFL. It's like, damn, this shit's translating pretty well. He said he was going to be a gem for the team. He said that he's going to shock a lot of people when he get in the NFL. And damn, that's a terrible joke. He damn sure shocked us last week. You know what I mean? We seen the injury. That shit was crazy.
Eesh.
The yard,
Philadelphia Eagles getting away with something else, like always.
huh?
So just the Eagles getting away with another penalty, like always.
Oh my god! Come on, gang. Oh my god!
Just saying, they false on him every tush push. That was a hip drop tackle. But either way, keep going.
I
I'm
don't
hating
think
on the Eagles.
I don't think they would. You don't think it was on purpose, right? You don't think he the.
I don't think anyone ever tackles someone being like, I hope I break this motherfucker's leg.
I think
But
people did back in the day.
yeah, I believe that. For the most part, I don't think most people are tackling each other hoping to break something. Maybe a little injury, like he's hobbling, but he'll be all right in like 5 minutes type of injury. But from what I understand, like most of them ain't trying to really like end someone's fucking career or nothing like that.
You must not have heard about them Saints.
They had the
Bounty game. Bounty game.
Yeah, they had bounties on boys' heads.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's not
I
heard
don't think
about
Well,
he
the
did it.
2003 kangaroos.
I
I
don't
live
think he
it.
did
I
it.
live in ignorance.
I don't think he did it intentionally at all. I think it was just like just one of them shitty situations, right? Uh,
Definitely.
but it is sucky at this time, especially for him. But the good part about it is, uh, he's done enough with the Giants that they're still invested in him. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not going to get cut. There's not even like he don't even have to think about that thought process. Like you're going to play next year. Granted, everything heals up right and everything goes good.
Uh,
I think it's
You think
I
he might
think
not
he
play
got
next
all the
year?
next year.
huh?
No.
Yeah, with dislocated ankle, he ruptured the tendon that was there and fractured fibula, whatever it was. Yes, it's bad.
Yeah, I'm saying the Giants are. He's done enough with the Giants for them to be invested in him. So he doesn't have to worry about getting cut. If he were to heal up and be able to play next year, the Giants are still invested in him. He's not going to be in a situation where it's like, damn, I just got hurt. Yep, countdown starts now. I'm just waiting for my agent to call me and tell me, hey man, they're going to let you go. I don't think that's his problem right now. I think
He's
he's
on a
done
rookie.
enough.
He's
That's
on
why
a
I say
rookie
that's the
contract.
good of it.
He's on a rookie contract. He's good.
Yeah. So ultimately, uh,
Speed
Travis Hunter been
recovery.
balling out. He been playing hella defense, good defense, solid defense. He got his first touchdown. I don't think we even spoke about that. Shouts out to Hunt. Uh, Rookie wise, out of all the rookies, who did y'all think was going to be like the best?
I had buddy from goddamn. I thought the defensive guys would be doing better. Guy who went to they don't even talk about him, but Dual Carter.
Bill
Mm.
McCartney. Oh yeah. Where he go?
Yeah, I haven't heard him. He went to the Giants. I thought Graham would do good with the Browns. I haven't heard his name a lot.
Not at all.
Yeah. I mean, we could take the Browns out. I don't think they're they might not being coached well. You know what I mean? At the particular point where you would expect them to uh, reduce anybody. I mean, like what Miles
When you
Garrett
got Miles,
has he had five
Yeah, you
sacks,
got
six
Miles
sacks last
Garrett.
game.
yeah,
I mean, what else can your defense
5
do?
of them.
What else can your defense do?
Mason Graham could be like, hey, they're blocking him. I can get me some stats.
Mhm.
Wild behavior. Um, man, shouts out to him. Shouts out to Scatterboo. Fucks with him. That's my boy, man. I definitely want to see him win. Um, I think I kind of like Jackson Dart a little bit. I think I hate these guys out.
Football player,
I
boy.
don't want to see anybody walk stadium walks. I don't care who you are right there at this point. I don't want to see anybody stadium walks. Just be in the uniform, press conference, as far as it goes, man. The outfit is insane to me. Like I don't understand it at all. But I think I'm
You
starting to
just
like
don't
Jack.
get fashion. You just don't get fashion, brother. That's all it
Huh?
is. You just don't get fashion, brother.
Yeah,
I
it's not
probably don't,
ugly.
man.
You just don't get it.
That's all it is. You just don't get it. You're not with it. That's all it is.
It
Simple.
might be. You know what I mean? Maybe everything ain't meant for you. That's the problem. People be in there all in other people's business, and you shouldn't be. That's probably, I get it. You know what I mean? I get it. And speaking about business, we can go to our next topic. Uh, everybody in everybody business, and everybody shouldn't be in everybody business. But in America, we got politics and democracy, and that's why everybody in everybody business. So this government shutdown has been going on for how many days right now? Let me see. Uh,
29?
29. Yeah. Day 29. It's not the longest, right? It's not the longest
Almost.
it had. It's been more. It's up there.
It is the second longest.
Yeah. Um,
And the two longest both happened under Trump, for what it's worth.
That's weird.
okay. Thanks for my fact.
I'm just saying it, you know.
Yeah.
Some people think that means a lot, some people don't, but I'm just throwing it out there.
You don't think so?
According to Trump, it means a lot because the president apparently is a bad president if he allows a shutdown. So that's his words.
He did say that. He did say
He
that.
didn't. He didn't. I thought he said he was a good president.
By his, but I'm talking about
No,
like a
that's a quote.
2013
Yeah, that
quote.
was it. Yeah.
Back when Obama was president, he was saying, you know, if the government shuts down, it's basically the president's fault because he's not negotiating. But Trump isn't really
He
that
became
guy that's going to
president.
reach across the aisle and try and
Right.
negotiate with Democrats. So, I
agree.
don't necessarily, like I said, we talked about it, I think, through the text message. I don't necessarily know if it's his fault or not. I won't go there, but I will definitely say it ain't helping at all.
Cool. So that's the question. Whose fault is it, right? Because
Everybody.
Democrats that's how I feel. Democrats put the blame on Republicans. Republicans put the blame on Democrats. We one thing we can't agree on, right? If we have a sit down about something, and we come to whatever light agreement, say, man, this is the date that we're going to finish all these talks on, right? And all your grievances on the table, all my grievances on the table, all my plans or solutions, all your plans and solutions, we're going to present all this here. And from there, we're going to come up with a discussion, or excuse me, a middle common ground, and we're going to say this is it. And we're going to go about our business, right? That's what's supposed to happen, right?
Sure.
We agree upon that?
For the most part, yeah.
Okay, cool. What's going on now?
That's not happening.
What's going on? So what's the problem, right? Not you, but some say it's healthcare. Some say that the Democrats are trying to sneak in a lot of money for healthcare. Some people say that the Republicans are flat out, I don't say dickheads, but flat out jerks, and they're not coming to the table. They're not even showing up to the table. The table is here, set. I'm here for you. You're not even showing up across the table. So how are we going to come to a common ground when you're not even showing up? How are we going to come to a common ground when we both agree that this is the deal, this is how we're going to go about it, and this is the end date, and then you try to slip in some craziness at the end? But whose fault really is it? Because for me personally, and this is my honest to God opinion, I think that it's both parties' fault. Y'all, this is not the American people should not be affected by y'all bullshitting around. That's my personal honest to God opinion. They should not be affected by your bullshit. You can't bullshit around left, right, Democrats, Republicans. You can't bullshit if the people, the common people, because y'all ain't affected by this. Whether, oh man, we ain't getting paid either, and we're politicians. 90% of y'all, if not 100% of y'all, make more than enough money to live above.
Oh, they get paid.
Huh?
Yeah,
They get paid.
Yeah,
They get paid.
they get paid. So
Yeah,
they
but
make
they
enough
don't
money to
lose
live,
pay
but
at all.
they don't live below the means. They're not living in poverty. They're living
No.
great. So if they miss a check or two, their day-to-day functions ain't
No, I'm saying
disrupted.
they're not even missing a check though. That's what I'm saying.
And that's my point. The common people are. So
Right.
at the realm of others, these games is being played left, right, Democrat, Republican, donkeys, elephants, leftists, rights, whatever, far right, far left, whatever it is. The games that's being played, the common people are the people that's receiving the bullshit end of it. And I think that's bullshit. This should be ironed out, whether it's behind closed doors, in front of the public, in the people's face, whatever the case may be. This should be ironed out, and the American people should not be affected by y'all bullshitting around. And that's my honest to God opinion. But with that being said, whose fault is it, guys?
Well, first to back up, um, all policy is going to affect the common people, like good or bad. Like
Yeah.
there's going to be some type of effect. Like so, like I guess I mean I understand what you're saying, but there's no avoiding like whatever happens on the hill of having an effect on the people. I
No,
guess
no, 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 no.
you
I'm not saying.
you no,
I'm
but
not saying
I
in
get
that
what you're
fact.
saying. You're wishing that they were more mature and able to come to a resolution so
Right.
that shit didn't roll down the hill and fuck with all of us.
Yes. Yes.
I
That's
totally
exactly.
get that.
That's
Yeah,
exactly what I'm saying.
gotcha. Now back to your question that you asked. Um, to be honest, yeah, I think it is a little bit of both sides' fault, but I do think the right has like a little bit more blame in the situation. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was gonna say, but about the left. What a surprise.
You know,
Who would have thought?
right?
Why that?
But
Why?
why? Because the whole situation that is holding us up right now is healthcare subsidies that affects Obamacare and what is it, Medicaid or Medicare? I think it's Medicaid. Anyway, um, that were like opened during COVID to grant like greater access and things like that. So there's a subset date for those subsidies that is being allowed to subset in in the big beautiful bill. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
All right,
there's
now.
and there's no
Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
and there's been no negotiation about it. Like I guess like the end date has been known that it's coming up, and it's not been proposed in the budget. And every time they've had discussions on the floor about the budget, the point has been raised like, hey, this is coming. We need to do something because it's going to raise rates on people immediately. And it's always just been pushed to the side, and the bill was just pushed through. The budget was pushed through without this line item addressed, and that's why we're at this impasse right now. Is because uh, one side wants to negotiate the rates, and the other side just wants to let them pass, and that's where we are.
So Democrats are apparent. This is just me trying to summarize. Democrats are looking out for the common folk because of this big beautiful bill that was written that was going to raise the rates on the common folk, and they're trying to bring it to the table. And Republicans
Well,
pushing it to the
well, well,
side,
well,
saying,
well. Let me fix that for you because I know Corey will fix it as well. But the bill wasn't written to raise rates.
"No, no, no.
Like
It's something
the
that's
rates were due to subside, and there was never been any type of negotiation to not let them subside.
got you." So the that was going
Or
to
even
affect the common
Republicans
folk.
coming up and saying,
What's up?
Yep.
"No,
So
y'all got
that was going to affect the common folk, and the Democrats are trying to bring it to the table to address. Republicans are pushing it to the side. That's why you say Republicans have more fault to blame on the shutdown than the Democrats, so to speak.
Correct.
All right. I'm assuming Corey agrees.
Not completely. Little disagreement might surprise y'all. Um, no, well, I mean, if you look at like the history of shutdowns, usually the party that has a clean resolution and is saying let's just fund the government for another month or so we can get through the appropriations and allocate all this stuff versus the party that's saying, hey, we're not going to do anything until you pass the things that we want. Usually that the side that's demanding things is the side that gets blamed for it. It could be a little bit different this time. Like I said, I think we all agree that there's fault to be had everywhere because everyone could mature. And, there's been a couple Republicans, maybe Democrats too, I'm just not sure, that have introduced bills that are like, hey, we can't do shutdowns anymore. Let's make it
Right.
to where we can't leave. until
Right.
until it's done. And that's something that I fully support. Like you said, you're holding the American people hostage. It's not bothering you. I think both sides are like, oh, well, how can we use this to our advantage? Excuse me, how can we use this to our advantage, as opposed to how can we end this? But
Right.
ultimately, the CR, the clean resolution that they have, it's like the same one that's been passed like 11 or 12 different times under the Biden administration. Um, every 6 months they just kind of pass the continuing resolution on. My thing is, if you want to go like to fault, you can look at when the bill was written in 21 and they sunset it for a year later. And then in 22, when they did I think it was the Inflation Reduction Act, that's when they put them to 2025, end of the year. But they could have wrote them to 2030 or 2050 or, lifetime. So I just think it's weird that now that it's, sunsetting, not one Republican voted for any of it, regardless of whether you agree or disagree, it's right or wrong. Republicans never agreed to this. And now you're saying, like, hey, all that stuff that y'all didn't agree to and we didn't make permanent, now we want you to make it permanent. And it's like, no.
No, they don't want to make it permanent.
They do.
They want to continue to work to a resolution to meet in the middle. To me, what's the Republicans' plan for healthcare?
What does that matter right now?
What is Republicans' plan for healthcare? I'm asking
Why is
you,
that relevant
anybody?
to there is no,
because
like,
healthcare is a
direct
holdup.
plan.
So, what's the Republicans' plan for healthcare? I know what the Democrats' plan is. They want this to happen. What is the Republicans' plan?
At this point,
Does anybody
Republicans are
know?
pretty much stuck with trying to make Obamacare work
What's their
because
plan?
I just told you
What is their plan?
they're stuck with
They want to
making
make
Obamacare
Obamacare
work.
work.
They don't have any other options. They don't have enough
No,
votes. You have
not
to
they're
have 60
letting
votes
they don't have enough.
to,
If
to
they
completely
provided a,
repeal Obamacare.
yeah,
They don't have the
they could
votes.
they
What
could
is
do
their
that. They could get
plan?
the votes
Their
if
plan
they had
to
a
make
good plan.
Obamacare work.
You said what? I'm
That's
sorry.
what I'm saying. What is their
I mean, most of it's regarding like deregulation. Like I said, there's no like we're gonna do this instead. It's just trying to make things work. But none of that's really relevant to what we're talking about.
all relevant? That's all
It's
relevant
it's,
because if
it's
Republicans
not
had a
though.
plan for healthcare, I think Democrats would sit at the table and listen to what their plan is. But Republicans don't have a plan for healthcare. One side does, one side doesn't. Well, you guys have a plan. Well, let's try to at least carry this out for a little bit longer till we come up with a plan. So that's
It's
why
been
we don't write
15
this.
years.
That's why we don't write this shit until 2050. We write it to where we continue because hey, you guys are gonna have a chance. Let's meet somewhere in the middle. But once again, you're telling me Republicans do not have a plan for healthcare but to make Obamacare work. Well, they've been trying to get Obamacare out for how long?
Since the
15
day that
years.
it got put in.
Their plan is to get rid of Obamacare, and that's what they're doing.
This says,
Letting
hold
this
on,
stuff.
hold on. Let me read this real quick. Based on recent actions in the House of Representatives and proposals made in the Project 2025 blueprint, the Republican plan for healthcare focuses on repealing and replacing the ACA or Affordable Care Act, restricting federal funding for certain services, and expanding health saving accounts (HSAs). The following is an overview of key components and proposals. That's an overview done by AI. So I just so based on what King Daniel's saying,
Plan.
the plan, there is no plan other than getting rid of the current health care that is provided. Or is that? I mean, that's the way
That
I.
sounds nuts to me, but
Granted, that's a synopsis. I don't follow.
the Democrats.
I don't follow everything like to the T, right? So to say that that's their quote unquote plan or that's what they want to do,
I don't get what that has to do with the CR. Like that's a
Well,
completely
okay.
separate plan
Corey.
because so hold on. So the plan is, and Republicans have said you pass the CR as opposed to holding the country hostage to force things that you want. Because the Democrats aren't coming to the table. They're not trying to negotiate either. They're saying you either take what we want or we're not negotiating, period. So
Or
so
have a
I don't
plan to help.
I'm
They
sorry.
don't have a plan to help.
What do you it's not that doesn't because they don't have a
That's what
plan doesn't mean that they can't talk about the plan that is already in
Well,
place and how to do
okay.
different things.
Corey.
Like
they don't want
change
to
how
talk
much
about.
the subsidy is. Right now people making $300,000 still qualify for that subsidy.
Okay, but so what?
Isn't it
Just
supposed
because
to be
some,
Okay,
for
hold on,
people
wait.
who aren't
but okay,
wealthy?
but
I gotta be
what
fair.
you're offering
I
is
gotta be
what you're
fair. I gotta be fair. I gotta be fair. I read the Republicans. I gotta read the Democrat. It's the same AI overview, same overview. Just Democrats. As of late 2025, the Democratic Party's healthcare plan is focused on defending and expanding the existing programs, including the Affordable Care Act, Medicare, Medicaid. A central immediate priority is to extend the enhanced ACA, Affordable Care Act premium subsidies, which are set to expire end of 2025. So on this, again, this is an overview. This is an overview. But just based off the overview, right? If I just look at that, if you presented me with both of these sides, just those overviews right there, it sounds like one person or one party is for trying to keep this program in place, and another
Help.
party is trying to repeal or replace this program. King Daniel's saying, what's the replacement? You're saying
It's not hard to understand.
it doesn't really matter about the conversation of the clean resolution, right?
Right, because we're not replacing the American Care Act, or the Affordable Care Act. We're not replacing the insurance. So it really doesn't matter if there's a plan. We're talking about the subsidies.
Gotcha.
Now, if we want to have a healthcare talk, that's a whole different discussion, but that's separate from what we're talking about.
Gotcha. Okay, so the clean resolution, what does that just gets the money going? That gets the government back out there, or excuse me, the funding, continue the funding?
Right. Yeah. So originally it was supposed to be passed until like the 17th of November, which would have gave them like 2 months to negotiate all this stuff. Now we're almost into November. I don't know if they're going to push that date back and be another 2 months or how they're going to do it. Um, but I mean, they've said that they would put the subsidies to a vote once they got the government open. But the the time that you're doing the appropriations and whatnot, like that's not the time that you're supposed to be debating these things. Like that's supposed to happen way before. So for it to all of a sudden at the last second be like, nope, we're not doing this unless you do this without any talks up, like, yeah, I
But they
I
have
don't
been
see how that's not
talking.
on them.
Lando has already told you it's been talked since earlier in the year on, hey, we can't let this in, we can't let this in. And one side is like, we don't care if it ends or not.
Right. Well, I mean, they didn't vote for it, so I wouldn't expect them
Who
to care
votes?
if it
The
ended.
House votes? The Senate votes? Who
The
votes?
House and the
yes,
Senate.
the
Yeah.
House and
Okay,
Senate.
so now,
Senate already
now,
passed it.
now, again, if I'm just listening to this argument, right? Who has the House and who has the Senate?
Republicans.
Okay, so if I'm a Democrat and I got a bill or something that I'm trying to get passed, and the Republicans say, you know what? I'm willing to talk about this. I'm willing to discuss this. Let's vote. In fact, let's fund the government. Let's get a clean resolution, i.e., giving a bipartisans majorities in both of Congress have vote. Whatever. They're going to give these people an opportunity to continue funding the government until it says on here November 21st, as you said, um, to keep the American people paid and getting money. Right. We're going to keep that going, but we're going to vote on this bill. Now, hear me out. And this might be crazy. This might be absurd. This might be insane. If you have the House and you have the Senate, and that's who's voting on a bill, majority wins, right?
No, no.
Okay, so if you have
It's 60.
hear me out. If you have the House and you have the Senate, and we're voting on a Democratic bill, do you think the Republicans in that position are going to say yes to that bill? This to me, just me. If I had the opportunity to stop somebody from doing something, this is the perfect way to do it. I tell you, hey man, I'm willing to meet with you and have this discussion. Let's vote on it, in fact. And I know that everybody on my side is going to vote my way, which in hints is going to cause me to win. Get rid of that, to stop that, or whatever the case may be, to eliminate the Affordable Care Act in this particular situation. Isn't that kind of tricky? Isn't that like now, as a Democrat, you have to stand on this? Like, we have to let y'all go through this because this is like, they're going to play these cards. They're playing a different game. Like, you can play the game of let's do it equal and fair. But where's the equal and fair if y'all have the House and the Senate? Now, that's why I was saying the majority, but go ahead. Like, majority doesn't win in that position. You don't think that wins?
Well, in the Senate, you got to have 60. Now, they could do the nuclear option, but I think that would be a terrible decision. So I really hope they don't, because if they do that, then it is majority wins, and they could just pass the bill and then it'd be over. But
Yeah.
But then you leave the other party to basically be able to ram through whatever legislation. So it was supposed to be a system of checks and balances, and both parties, whether it's on judge confirmations or just different hearings, like they've just completely obliterated all of these.
No.
Yes.
What we are hold on. What we are experiencing right now is a check and balance because this is a move to try to force Republicans to come to negotiate to the table and also alert the American public to, hey, when these rates go up, this is not our fault. You know what I'm saying? Like we have done everything we could to
Well,
try to stop this from happening.
I hear you, but the thing is that there's no bills that were introduced. As far as I know, there was no talks back and forth about the American or Affordable Care Act subsidies directly. Maybe there was sometimes it was mentioned, but it was never brought
I
up like, hey, we need to get this handled. So Republicans aren't going to
hold
jump
on.
the gun to get something like that
No,
handled.
no, no, I don't like. So when you say that, and when you ask about when was it discussed, like I'm really confused by that, and that's why I keep saying it was discussed every time the big beautiful bill was discussed because the big beautiful
Right,
bill was
but
the budget for the year. Hold on, is the budget for the year. So it's just one of the line items that they're discussing. Like, hey, we know these subsidies are closing like it, so it's not going to be part of a separate bill introduced by the Democrats. It's part of the budget bill, and that's why it's being attached or attacked from that angle because it should have been included in that bill. Does that make sense?
why should it have been included in that bill though?
Be- because it's part of the budget for the year. So if the budget for the year, if the
But they
like
don't
the
want that.
Exactly. That's why they're trying to get rid of it,
they
right?
don't want that, so then the Democrats have to do everything they can to bring it to the American people's public. Like, hey, this is happening, and like you said,
Oh,
the
so they've
Republicans
got to
don't want that.
they got to force families to go hungry and not have benefits or not pay the military or anything like
Or
that. And that's another
or
thing with the
or
whole,
just let the
whose
subsidies,
fault.
or they could just let the subsidies run out, and then when the Republicans say, "Oh, it's the Democrats' fault that the subsidies ran out," nobody's going to believe them that when they say for the last year that they've been trying hooping and hollering trying to get it passed. Because just like you're sitting here saying, "When did they bring it up?" And I keep telling you every time the big beautiful bill was discussed, it was discussed.
But
Like I work from
respectfully,
home. I work from home. I watch C-SPAN like all the time. I watch that's all I do. So like the stuff that people argue about on the internet is not what is discussed on the Hill when they're talking about bills and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So like
yeah, no, I hear
it,
that. But so the reason I still am a little unsure about that is every time everything that you sent me was Medicaid related. It wasn't ACA related. It was Medicaid. So I was like, well, give me an example of a time where Democrats, because when I looked it up on Google, it says Democrats never brought this up until September 15th. And then that's 2 weeks before the budget is due. But before then,
No.
this was never made like a point of contention. Now, I will bet that you're right that it was mentioned at some point, but it was never like, hey, this has to happen to the point where if it doesn't right now, we're going to shut down the government for a month. Instead, they were just quiet on it, and then they shut down the government for a month.
No. So, like you said, it was mentioned in Medicaid, and so it's just said, hey, Medicaid subsidies or whatever. And then, like, I don't doubt that the first time it's mentioned, like, I guess, super publicly was in September, saying, like, hey, if we don't do something, then yes, we're going to shut down the government or whatever, because that's how dire it is. Like, but what I keep trying to, I guess, get through to you is like, it's been discussed on the Hill, and of course, and it's obviously had to have been discussed like in back rooms and stuff that we don't know about as well. Like, so to me, it just seems weird that you just think like it was just this super secret thing that Democrats came up with in September to be like, hey, we can get some brownie points out of this, and not an issue that has been coming up and known about. Like, I guess, you know what I'm saying, just because it hasn't been a super public thing until right now doesn't mean that it wasn't a public thing. It was just one other thing under the radar. Like, there's been so much stuff going on, and it's part of the Trump strategy is to just flood the end zone with things. Like, there's always this, there's always something going on, there's always something to talk about. And then meanwhile, this deadline is passed and this deadline is passed, and we slip this under the radar and slip this under the radar because y'all are all focused on this other thing. And so, like you said, this just to you is just happening. Like, what is the big deal about all of this? And but it's been discussed for the last year and a half. You know what I'm saying? Every time they talked about this big beautiful bill. That's my perspective on it, on a lot of things.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say
Ever since they
that you
talked
say
about
you
the big
watch it, so
beautiful
I'll take your word for it.
ever since they talked about the big beautiful bill, it's been brought up, hey, this bill is going to get rid of these things and raise the cost of healthcare for everybody. That's been the main talk on this side is, hey, if this gets passed, this is what's going to happen. And this is what's happening. And it's affecting everybody. It's not everybody except for the rich, because like you said, the person who was able to have 300,000, but he can still get ACA because he has a pre-existing injury, pre-existing condition. Okay, well now he might not be able to get it that type of care, but he has enough money to pay because he has a pre-existing condition. The poor folks who that was helping out, they won't have the money to pay if it gets privatized.
Well, okay.
But to me, that's the issue.
And the
So
counterbalance to that
I
is
looked it
that
up. Hold on, real quick. So I looked it up because they got a calculator out there that shows you how much you would pay for your premium without the deduction and with the or without the subsidy and with the subsidy. And so for a family of 5, 3 kids, wife and husband, all of them on the Affordable Care Act, making $55,000 a year, the premium's $200 a month without the subsidies.
Okay.
If you make under $37,000, you're on Medicaid. Once you
Okay.
get up to $150,000, a family of 5 is like $800. Now I'm looking at my health insurance. I pay $500 a month for me and my kids, and I have the cheapest plan that we got. I don't make $150,000 a year.
Are you using the private insurance? Or are you using ACA?
Nah, through work. No, I go through work.
Okay. So that's a private thing. If you go to ACA, you can get a lot. I did this for my job.
Well,
My
you
previous
can't
job
get
I was
ACA. I can't get ACA.
at, my you can go to gov.com and
I
get
have a
insurance for
job.
your family.
I have a job.
Not anymore. No, I'm telling, bro. I did the same
That's something I
thing.
know.
I went and they sent me a whole list of insurance companies who I can go get
Right.
that was way cheaper than what my job was offering me through Affordable
You don't
Care
have to
Act.
be unemployed just to get the
I
ACA.
didn't have to go through my job.
That
I
is
can go
okay.
through
Sorry,
Affordable
but
Care
you
Act.
don't qualify for any of the. So there's still a lot of subsidies on the ACA that are still there.
All
You don't
I'm
qualify
saying
for
is
any of that.
my shit was a lot cheaper going through them than going through a private
But
company, which my
right,
job
because
provided.
you have a
All
bigger
that set in.
under the ACA, you have a bigger bargaining chip because you're collective bargaining instead of just on your own going private.
And with the like what you said about the pre-existing injuries, and I'm this is one of the things, the big things that a lot of people like for the ACH was it stopped insurance companies from denying access to people with pre-existing injuries or pre-existing conditions, right?
Right.
Yes.
Because I have mesothelioma. I don't even know if motherfuckers got that, but I got mesothelioma, and
That's still a thing.
people cut me out of the
Working in the
insurance,
shipyard?
and because I have that,
That boy got
Mhm.
scared.
nobody else is gonna get me. Nobody else is gonna offer me, or if they do, they're gonna offer me at super absorbent rates, $2,000 a month. And
Right, right, right.
for lack of better words, Obama seen this as an issue and had this written in, right? So
Yeah.
this is my problem with it is and it's not really a problem. I think when people show you and respectful, I love you, Corey. I don't mean this towards you, but when people show you who they are, you have to believe them, right? And if Republicans are saying we didn't hear about this, they didn't bring this up, they didn't say this, they didn't say that, I'll just say this one thing: checks and balances is real, right? And if you're running a country, checks and balances is fucking real. If you live paying bills in your house, checks and balances is real. I say that to say this: every month, you know exactly what you got to do to a certain extent. You know, you got to pay your rent. You know, you got to pay your lights. You know, you got to pay your water. There's not a month that goes by that when you get paid, you're not thinking about those type of things. So if you have to write up a budget, there's no way you're going to write up a budget and leave out rent. There's no way you're going to write up a budget and leave out water. There's no way you're going to write up a budget and leave these things out, because you understand that it has to be within the budget for this money to make sense. I.e., if you're getting a loan or giving out a loan and somebody has to present you with information on why they need this money, don't you want to know every single thing that's going on? And if that person didn't present you with that information, you have to think to yourself, are they credible for what they are they reliable? Do they even understand what's going on? So, to my understanding, the big beautiful bill is a budget that was written out, like Lando said, for the year. And if you did not equate something that's already in the budget in there, then that means that you don't want that in the budget, which is fine, which is cool, which is totally okay. This is the problem I have with it. If it's affecting every American, Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative, nothing, if everybody's getting affected by this, why wouldn't you think about putting this or writing this in? And I don't mean that at you, but I'm just saying, as a Republican, not you, but just as Republicans, why? It's safe to say for me, you didn't want that in there. So the replacing, or better yet, repealing or getting rid of the Affordable Care Act is what the Republicans want. So it goes back to what King Daniel was saying. Logically, this is all I'm just logically thinking. It goes back to that. What is your replacement then? What is
Hold
Yeah.
on.
Is your
replacement?
But
replacement
they're not
private?
replacing it. I don't understand why you keep going to replacing healthcare.
Why are
So
you taking it away
if
if
the
you're
bill
not
gets
going to
passed,
replace it?
if the bill goes how they want it to go, the Republicans, is the Affordable Care Act still going to be
Yes,
out there?
100%.
Cool.
It's just premiums are gonna raise,
Okay,
like almost
cool.
double in some
Cool.
places.
Almost double in some places. That's fine. Perfectly fine. Does that
Not
affect?
fine.
Listen,
It's not fine.
listen to what yeah, it is perfectly
I
fine.
mean, sometimes people gotta pay for their own health insurance.
I
Like,
understand that. But what I'm
sometimes we
saying,
gotta
listen to
save
what I'm
money.
saying. That's perfectly fine. If if all that goes up, this is my problem with that. This is my question behind that. Who does that affect?
The middle and
The
lower
regular,
class.
Who does the premium? Your premium goes up. Who's affected by that?
The people, the middle and lower class.
So rich people aren't affected by this. Their premiums don't go up.
Oh,
They
they
can
go
afford
up,
it.
but they got the money to
No,
absorb it.
no. Everybody. This is what I'm trying to say. Everybody's affected by it. So if everybody in America is affected by this,
No,
and
no,
we're gonna
hold on,
break it
hold on,
down.
hold on.
Not
Everybody
everybody's
has
affected.
ACA. That's
Okay,
not anywhere near everybody in America. Most people
cool. Oh,
don't have
cool.
ACA.
This is where I'm
Guess
trying to
what?
get
Your
this
private
down.
insurance is going to go up. Like you might be paying $500 now for your job. When these things go down and they privatize
Yeah,
that,
the
you
rates
might
all
be
go
paying
up.
that now.
Yeah,
Everybody's racing to go up. You just think they're gonna be like, "Oh, you're good." No, hey, this is the price now.
yeah.
So
Prices
this goes
breaking.
back to that thing where Obama was trying to stop people from being able to raise prices so high that nobody can get it, or put people in positions, i.e., with pre-existing injuries that are pre-existing conditions that they cannot afford health care. So this goes back to what I'm saying. So if they want to write it in, okay, cool, everybody's going to get affected by it. You're saying only people on the Affordable Care Act is going to get affected by it based off of what's written. But these subsidies affects everybody to a certain extent, if not everybody in America that has healthcare, right?
I mean, I guess they would pay less in taxes, sure, but all the subsidy does, the premium is the same. What a lot of people don't realize is how expensive the healthcare is because the government's been covering the premium for, such a large portion of it. You know, yeah, healthcare is expensive. Like if you're making $150,000, I don't have a problem with you paying $800 a month for health insurance through ACA. Like that's 9%. When Obamacare was first written, they expected 2 to 10% of your income will be spent on healthcare. 2% for obviously people who make less money, 10% for people who make more. 150,000 at $800 a month is still less than 10%. So it still hits the original targets. The problem is we're so used to these subsidies and expecting the government to pay for everything that now you're having this thing where it's like, oh, they're not paying for that. That's a lot of fucking money. I make a lot of money, but like I said earlier, a family of five at $50,000 a year, household income, $200 a month. That's not that bad.
But what's the average? So what's the average American make?
You
Yeah,
can't tell the family
45,
five now.
45,000.
So boom, right there. The average family, the average American, 45,000. The average family, the average American doesn't even make 50,000.
So if you make 45, your payment would be lower. So
Cool.
I mean, if you want to go
No.
that route, then it's like
Cool.
150 a month.
Can you survive on $45,000 a year?
Me, that'd be tough.
Okay, cool. So not only is it tough, but you already have an amount of money that has to go out called taxes, right? That money goes out. So the 45,000 that you quote unquote acquire a year really isn't 45,000. Let's be realistic. You're probably going to pull in 40,000, 38, 39,000, right? So
Mhm.
now that $800 or $200 or whatever it is a month, now that may be a little bit more of a chore. I'm saying all this to say the people that's affected by it is everybody. That whatever this is, subsidy, premiums, all that shit, everybody's affected by it. But the people that are really going to suffer from it is the lower class, the lower people. These are the guys that's on the Affordable Care Act. These are the guys that are doing these type of things. And that's the problem. If you're not willing to sit at the table and come up to a resolution for everybody, it's an issue. It's an issue. And to me, I don't know if I'll put it to you this way. For my family, the amount I have to pay for healthcare, for dental, eye, health for my family. I got 4 kids and me. And I was married, but 4 kids, right? The amount that I would have to pay right into the man off through my job. Now, granted, I never did the gov.com, gov, whatever, is like a house note, right?
Yeah.
Pay that. Cool. If I
Yep.
pay that, now I can't pay my house note. Okay, cool. Be honest
Yep.
with you. Yeah, I can. I can pay that and I can pay my house note. But now me and my kids, we can't do everything. We ain't going to Area 254. We ain't going to urban air. Shit, they hungry, we eating at the house, cuz. Packets of noodles may be dinner for real. I got to change my whole lifestyle just to provide my kids with health care. And this is another problem I have. You say health care is expensive. Yeah, healthcare is expensive. You are absolutely correct. Why does free? Why is it that healthcare is so expensive? Is it because America's a business? Is there no way we can provide free healthcare? Or is it the fact that you get free healthcare, not you, but somebody gets free healthcare and you don't qualify for it? So you feel like that person should have to pay also. But you know goddamn well that person's less fortunate than you. You know goddamn well you make more money than this person. You know goddamn well you can afford it. You can afford it, but you don't want to pay for it because so-and-so's not paying for it. Mind your goddamn business. That's what I started off this whole shit with. That's my problem. Everybody jump in everybody's business and don't mind their goddamn business. What you got going on in your house, that's your house. What's going on in America, that's for
hold on. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
I'll say, then why are we worried about these premiums?
Hold on.
Worry about what happens in your house.
No, bro, you got the wrong idea. You got the wrong idea.
So you have to do what's better for America. But if you make $150,000 and you worried about somebody that makes less than you, you're insane. That ain't got shit to do with you. You can afford the health care. Why are you so worried about somebody else that can't and they're not paying for it? You can afford it. That's my problem. That's when I say mind your goddamn business. You all in somebody else's business, all in somebody else's house, doing better than them, expecting the same premiums or the same position of life that they're in. That $150,000, are you willing to trade it in? Are you willing to trade that money in for the lifestyle that this person lives for the free healthcare? Probably not. And I'll tell you right now, if I made $150,000, I damn sure wouldn't be tripping on $800 a month for healthcare. I wouldn't. It wouldn't even be a thought process in my mind. Shit, if you want to hit me for $15,000 a year, I wouldn't trip. At $150,000 a year, I wouldn't trip. It wouldn't be a process in my mind. I wouldn't be concerned about what everybody else got going on. But in the same breath, we're not talking about me in my house. We're talking about everybody. So if everybody's being affected by this, then everybody needs to sit down and come to an agreement. And if one person is saying, or one party is saying, this is fine, the other party is saying, no, it's not, we're never going to get nowhere if we don't have an understanding, come to some type of agreement. We're working on 29 days. 29 days, there's people not getting paid. Now, granted, and people say that like the military is not getting paid. They're not, right? In some facets, they're not. Some people are actually going to work, furlough, where they have to go to work, literally have to go to work. They're expected to be at work and they're expected to do their job. But at the end of this 2 weeks, they're not getting a paycheck. At the end of this month, they're not getting a paycheck. Now, we as an American people have to understand that how much money do you think American people really have saved up? Because the average American don't even have $500 saved up in the savings account. Just put aside. The average American don't have $500 put aside to just for any given day. How the fuck are you supposed to survive? That's my problem with this whole situation. Is there's people being affected right now. Soldiers, federal workers. People are being affected as motherfuckers can't get jobs. Businesses can't expand. All because there's games being played at the top. And that's my problem with everything. But my bad, Lando, go ahead. You said you don't agree with the whole mind your damn business.
Oh, well, because to get to a collective agreement like you're talking about, people have to kind of care about other people and their business. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to care about the little man who can't afford to pay health care just as much as the big man that can't afford to pay. Like everybody has to care a little bit, or you have everybody just on this rugged individualism shit where they're just like, well, fuck it, I can pay for insurance and that's all that matters. Like if you can't, that's too bad for you. Like you can't advance as a nation or a community like with that kind of thought because there is no community in that type of thought to me.
Yeah, and that's why I said when it comes down to you and your household, that's what's matter. Mind your damn business in your household. When we're talking about the American people like this right now, a big beautiful bill, a shutdown, Affordable Care Act, when we're talking about these are the American people. The problem that we have is there's people at the top that look at people at the bottom and judge them and say they shouldn't be able to do that. You shouldn't be able to stay on welfare and stay on the welfare and do. You shouldn't be able to do that. So I think we should cut that shit. When that welfare shit has nothing to do with you at your top. Now, granted, I'm not saying your tax dollars ain't going to it because that's what everybody. Oh, we pay taxes. That shit go there. Blah blah blah. I'm not saying none of that. All I'm simply saying is, at that particular point in your life, if you're looking down at people saying they shouldn't have, they shouldn't, mind your business. Your house and your life is good. Vote for who you want to vote for, believe in what you want to believe. But when it comes down to the people and everybody in it, everybody's should matter. Period, point blank, the end.
Yeah.
And
No, I feel that.
that's my whole problem.
You,
Huh?
you mentioned something that was funny to me. Like, when people talk about, man, I want my tax dollars going there. Where do you want your tax dollars going?
To me personally, or you just actually just saying in general?
Just
Me
like
personally, I don't.
everybody. Yeah, like we'll go
I
everybody one
want
by
my
one.
tax
Like,
dollars to come back to me on tax returns.
I want them to
But
go in my fucking pocket.
yeah, but overall,
tax dollars.
I would say in that sense, what I was talking about, I would say people are saying that to the degree of your tax dollars are going to, for lack of better words, feed the poor, pay for police, put the streets together, make sure that we got city lights and shit like that. Like that's where your tax dollars are going, and welfare,
You want to help the
healthcare,
community.
welfare,
Yeah. Mhm.
housing for hood, all that shit. So when you see people that are quote unquote riding the system that don't make an advantage to leave or don't take opportunities to leave the hood or get off welfare or get off hood, then what you say to yourself is, and I not you or any of you, I'm just saying people, the people that I'm talking about would say to themselves is that's not right that they get $25 rent and I gotta pay
Okay,
eight.
well, how come those people don't care about the people doing the same thing at the top of the system? The people who, like the Walton family that owns Walmart, that like 75% of their workforce is on government assistance because they don't pay them enough to live a fruitful life without it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're,
While getting
Okay, I'm gonna
tax.
answer. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna answer that, and then whoever I'm talking about, that same person that in my head that I'm talking about, I'm gonna answer it that way. Why I don't care about Sam Walton and all them is because they got it off there. They got it out the mud. They did it themselves. And I can't be mad at some rich person that understands the tax code and getting tax write-offs and tax breaks and stuff like that. I can't
I'm
be mad
not,
at that.
I'm
And
not talking about tax code.
wait. Time out. And the people that are staying there working at that job on welfare, it's their fault that they don't go get a better job since you know you can go make more money somewhere else. That's why I don't talk about Sam Walton and them.
But they can't get a better job other places because in a lot of small towns, like Walmart comes in and gobbles up all the other businesses, so that you only can work at Walmart or and that's if the Walmart comes, because the dollar store and Dollar General is what comes in and gobbles up all the businesses underneath the Walmart. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay. And let me tell you this. You want me to tell you why that happens? Y'all should go to school then. That's your problem. You don't go to school. You don't go get an education to further yourself.
So hold on. So
Well, you
mom
go
and
to
pop
school and
shops around the world, just their problem is they didn't go to school, not they don't have enough money to outlast Walmart. Like,
right.
that's tough. Like, I can't agree with that. Like, if I open up a shop, it doesn't matter how smart I am. If I'm opening up a building in a country
You can't
town,
outprice Walmart.
like Walmart's gonna outdo me no matter what. Like, yeah, I may be able to keep myself afloat for a while, but I'm never going to thrive compared to what I would have done if Walmart wasn't there. And
So you can't
Walmart, like,
go. So you can't take your money and go to school and become a GM and work for Walmart.
why do
nope.
I what? I want to own my own business though.
So you can't go. Okay, it's cool. You just owned your own business and it wasn't successful. So now you need to go find something else to do. All you're gonna just do is sit around and
No,
lay around on welfare all
but
day.
no. Why? No, that's why we need to fix the system so that this unfettered capitalism allows for other people, other shit to happen. You
I
got all these
love
I know rich
me
lobbies
people
some
going
y'all
on
are.
right
capitalism.
now.
Y'all don't like
Capitalism
rich
is
people.
great, but Lando's right.
Y'all don't know.
Capitalism
Maybe
is
you can't
great,
stop
but
Walmart from making
unfettered
business.
capitalism is horrible.
I agree.
Or you go to school, bro, and you go to school and you're still not qualified. So
Right.
now you
That's
sitting
why
there
you
and you
move
got
and
all
go
these.
find a different job. That's y'all problem. Y'all
It
stuck in the
sounds
same
good.
place. That's y'all
That
problem. Y'all
sounds good,
stuck in the
but
same
you
place.
know, it
Y'all
sounds
always want to
good,
be
but
in
I
the
don't
same
went to
place and y'all
school.
comfortable, stagnant, being in the same place. That's the problem.
I don't went
Y'all
to
like being at the
I don't
bottom
went
of the
to
barrel. That's
school
the
and I'm no
problem.
longer
No,
qualified. That ain't the
no. Okay,
problem.
hold on,
I went to
Mister
school
Mister
and I'm
Mister
qualified to
Moneybags
say,
Persona.
Huh?
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry to cut you off, bro. But Mr. Moneybags Persona, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, that I'm talking to.
Yeah.
So I opened up my own business. I got it out the mud, opened up my own business.
Yeah.
Failed to big business Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
I go to school, get a bunch of student loans and shit, go to school so that I can go work for Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm in all this debt and I'm being underpaid working for the same people that just put me out of business. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you how to fix that. That's your
then
problem.
healthcare just went up.
And
I,
yeah,
I got
I
I
No,
got
know
the
they
solution to all this. I got the
because
solution to all this.
Republicans don't give a shit.
I got I got the
Talk
solution to
about
all this
broke
right here.
motherfuckers.
I got the solution to all this. Hear me out. You started a business. Obviously, you started the wrong business because Walmart worked you out of business. Then your second problem was going to school to go to work for a company that just ran you out of business.
You
That's your
just told
problem.
me to go work for them. You just told me
I
to
said
go get
that
a
was
job
off.
and
That
become a
was a
GM for
suggestion.
them.
You should have went to work for Bucky's, and that's your problem. You don't have the mindset to even think outside the box. That's why y'all stuck on the bottom. That's why I don't like it. That's why the problem I got with healthcare and all that shit. None of y'all should get shit. That's my personal beliefs. That guy is the guy that I think of when I talk about that person. That's the way I think they think. It's that
That's the way
way.
it hits my ear. That's the way the shit hits my ear. You know what I'm saying?
That's the way for me too. So with the person like that, what is the resolution, my boy? You can't come to a resolution, right? If I can always make an excuse on why you're there, or how you're there, or what you should do, I ain't giving you no solutions for shit. I can just make excuses on why you're there. Man, you did this is nah, man. Oh, you could everything I just said literally was
What?
bullshit. I don't believe none of it.
No,
Right?
I know that. I knew that.
I, but, I,
I picked
but
up on
there,
that.
I guarantee you, there's somebody that we can show and watch this, and they'll be like, "Yeah,
Nah.
yeah." You want
Well,
me to say
if you want to know what my real answer is to all of this,
what?
we gotta get a little French with it. Chop a couple heads off. It'll all be good. Message will be sent.
Definitely not
Nope,
making it short.
it's definitely gun control laws is the reason for all this. So
Oh hell yeah! You see how they acted after Luigi went down? They thought that the people was gonna hate on him, and then the
well,
people loved him, and they was like, "Oh no, we got to keep him out the news." Like
Shit, crazy man. So ultimately,
the people are a little bloodlusty right now. They do everything they can to keep that under cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
people definitely want to see some violence right now.
Yeah.
do you guys believe in underground cities? Yes or no? Go.
yeah, there's one in Las
Yes.
Vegas.
There's one under Vegas.
Yeah, there's a real one.
Yeah, there's one under Vegas.
Yeah, for shit show. No, I'm dead serious.
Have
Mickey
you guys
Martinez,
been
Nah,
or whatever
tracking
his
the
name
three
is, that
eye
bitch ass dude, he goes out there. He has videotapes of him going down there. Yeah.
You guys been tracking the 3-eye atlas?
Three Eye Atlas.
that's that thing, meteor or whatever that's passing by, or
Interstellar
unidentified
object?
object.
Yep. So the real reason why this government shut down wasn't because none of the things we talked about tonight.
Okay.
Yep. NASA had good data, good pictures on October 2nd was going to be their best view. What happened on October 1st?
Shut down.
And who runs NASA?
Shut down.
Elon Musk.
Boom. I solved it.
And he don't want NASA doing nothing if it don't
I know
involve
also
him.
Now,
how it's solved.
I want to have pictures of
Yeah, I
aliens.
want to see the picture of something. I need something more than something
all I
more.
know is they got the Harvard scientist Avi Loeb, Loev. He's
Mhm.
been on this thing, but he also gave the theory for the last one. I can't pronounce the name, Adamua or wherever it was.
Right.
But yeah, this guy's been on. He just had a good sit down interview that I definitely want to watch. I'm not gonna plug that podcast, but he has a good one, and he talks about a lot of that stuff.
Yo, what do y'all think about them trying to force the Smithsonian to break down the space shuttle to bring it down here?
That seems
Y'all know
intense.
anything
Right
about
now,
that?
what space shuttle?
So Senator Cruz wants, I think it's like one of the Apollo space
Lost me
shuttles
right
to
there,
go
brother.
to the Smithsonian.
Ted Cruz, I'm out of there.
Yeah.
Hey, he does
Cruz ain't
some good
corny,
things.
but this ain't one of them. You can't,
I
because
don't know what
once
this
it
is, so you're
once
probably
it
right.
but so it's one of the space shuttles like that's been in one of the famous missions, but it's in the Smithsonian, like displayed right now, and
Okay.
you can't like to get it here and put it like in NASA or something. They'd have to disassemble it and then reassemble it, and they don't even think they're trying to tell them that shit's not possible to do. You know what I'm
Can't do
saying?
it.
It's just a
But
movie prop. Shouldn't be that
right.
difficult.
Right, yeah. Go hit up Stanley Kubrick. He's probably got 3 or 4 of them just sitting on a lot somewhere. But, but this government, this regime, is just ramming things through. It's like, no, we're doing this. This is what we're doing. This is what's
That's a
happening. So
wild way to put that in there, this regime,
The
but
regime.
that was
it
crazy.
is the regime.
Ramming
It was the
Ramming
Biden
this,
crime
this
family.
regime,
like,
just
So
ramming
it's
it
the
through.
regime. Like, come on.
as long as it's consensual.
Dude,
I
so
mean,
what's the question? Do we agree with disassembling or trying to disassemble the space
Yeah.
shuttle
Do
out
we
of the
agree with that?
Smithsonian
Yeah,
that
yeah.
shit matter to me. Yeah,
to go where?
break it down.
To bring it here, like to just like, do you agree with all of the things that the Trump
No,
administration is
That's
doing,
different.
You
like
said
in
Hell
all,
yeah, no.
so no.
no.
no,
Yeah,
I
that's a
said
different
all,
question.
but I'm talking about when it comes to like museums and things like that, all of the, because they've been taking over museums, firing curators, trying to change the narratives of things that are in the museums that the public sees.
No.
Asking about that. How do y'all feel about that?
Changing history? Fuck no.
Yeah, I was
Good
gonna
or
say that's
bad?
crazy.
Changing history? Fuck no. There's good or bad. It
Right.
happens. It sucks that certain things happen, but that
Right, but
story
you got
needs
to
to be
learn about
told the
some shit.
proper way.
Yeah.
Regardless
Yeah.
of what story it is, how good or bad, ugly, it brings out the worst of America. It doesn't matter. The truth is the truth, and what happened happened. It's history. It already happened. It did it. So you trying to delete history or change
The
slaves to
And I
narrative.
indentured
played
servants?
Her story.
You know what I mean? It's crazy to me.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I'm not. I'm not big on
yeah.
I'm not big on trying to change things to make them look better for your country or like no. Like if anything, to me, like you show the things that your country did, and you're like, look at where we're at now compared to
Right.
here. Like I don't know. I'm not big on that type of stuff. You know, you forget history, you're doomed to repeat it. So
Yeah, that's why.
so is that the same for like changing names for like installations?
What do you mean? Changing name for installation?
Military
oh,
bases.
like when they
Changing
changed
changing
Fort
name
Hood
for
to
Changing the
installation.
name
It
and
process.
then
better be
changing it to
that
Fort
has
Wallace
that
and then changing it back to Fort Hood.
yeah,
Type
that
shit.
has to be. But no, because that for him that's political. That's a political move just to show power. That ain't got shit else to do with nothing. Same thing with changing the Gulf of America, Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America. Um,
I see.
Look at
huh?
It's
you.
already sticking in.
What? No, just.
Drink the
But changing
Kool-Aid.
that, like all that is semantics, man. That don't really mean nothing. So if we're gonna change a post name or why
No,
people
it does
change
mean
post will be
something.
name
We
post.
look
Like
foolish
if
on the
we're gonna
world stage. Like, yeah, we bickering and arguing about it, like, but on the world stage, it does have an effect as well. You know what I'm saying?
what
I
does
The
will
world don't
say,
get
what does
the Gulf of Mexico.
like that doesn't do you don't get taxes, we don't get air rights, we don't get water rights or mineral rights. There's
Right.
nothing that comes from that. That's just a name on a map that
yep,
you just want to say is America. You know what
damn
I'm
right.
saying?
Right.
And
I
that's
will
semantics.
say it does make more sense to be the Gulf of America because it is the Americas that
Fuck
it's the
out of
Gulf
here,
of.
man.
But
It
my
ain't the
We
personal
Gulf of
give it to
Mexico
opinion,
the
either.
Gulf
hold on,
of
hold on, hold on, hold on,
America.
hold on. My personal opinion is it's already named. Leave it the fuck alone.
Okay,
But
let's break that down a little bit more.
if
Then.
I had to go back to the
What the
1800s
fuck
when it
was
was
America
named,
before it was Mexico? I mean, what was America before it was America? Majority Mexico, right? So when they named it the Gulf of Mexico, I'm
Spain,
pretty sure it was because there was no fucking America around like that.
it was a lot of France. It was a big portion of it was France.
it was sometime in the 1800s that it was named the
Most of
Gulf
it
of
was
Mexico, if I'm
unclaimed.
not mistaken.
But you're
Right.
talking
America was
about
around.
Texas all the way over to California was Mexico.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not the Gulf of Mexico. So you gonna
Yeah,
bring
because
your old
That's
bald head,
hold on.
you
I'm
gonna bring
saying
your
now
bald
it's
head,
more correct.
bald
Also,
head ass
France.
in here and try to change it? Why? It's semantics, bro.
I agree. I don't think it should be changed. I'm just saying for what it's worth. I feel like I always get myself into arguments that I don't really mean to because I don't care that I don't
But I
care what
think
it's
bro has a
named.
point. Like I get what you're saying. Like you have a point, but I think bro has a point that counter your point because it wasn't America. It wasn't the Americas. It wasn't North America, Central America, South America. You know what I'm saying? Whenever it was called like the Gulf of Mexico, I think like America was the 13 colonies way up here, and all of that land down there was just land in the
No,
Gulf. You know what I'm saying?
I thought they started
Like
calling the
Spain was
colon
out
or
there.
the continents the Americas.
What's
North
up?
America, South America, so they called the whole thing the Americas.
But
And then
Mexico was before America.
the United
No, no, no,
States
no, no. Yeah, it wasn't.
is the
Yeah,
United
yeah.
States of America, right? So,
Right.
but yes, I think Mexico was there before. That's why I said,
Yeah.
like, I agreed, like, originally why it was named. I'm just saying now the Gulf of America is accepting to
That
the
would be
whole
some
continent.
that'd be some America shit to do. To be like, oh well, now that we're established a little bit, we're just gonna call this the Gulf of America now. Like that.
And we're
Nah.
just going to call the world America's
We're just gonna
world.
do a
No, no big
little
deal.
bit of colonialism, just a little bit, just a little scooch in 2025. Wouldn't
Now,
last
it
sprinkle
long.
says the Gulf of Mexico has been used since the 1550s.
1550s. I was way off. I was
That's
wrong.
300 years,
300
Derived
years
man.
before.
derived from Mexico. I can't pronounce that. The Nahuatl term for the Aztecs.
Oh yeah. Aztec warriors, man. Aztec warrior.
Right.
No more like doors.
So, yeah.
So there was like so yeah. Even if it was known as the Americas, that was only in Spain in one little spot because Columbus had only just got there in 1492. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was the Gulf of Mexico that they pulled up in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Well, before we get up out of here, y'all boys got anything?
Yep.
Nah,
When
man,
you're the bully, you can name shit whatever you want to name it.
that is also true.
That's
Like
right.
there will
And
be
everybody has to
in
follow
50
it.
years from now, it'll be
You can be a
a
bully and
collector's
call me a
edition.
punk. That doesn't mean everybody's gonna call me that.
Well, if I continue to kick your ass, you'll be punked to me forever until you kick my ass
Oh,
in
don't call me
shape.
that. Hey, Corey, got anything? KBA weeks.
Nah, man. Well, I guess yeah. Check out KBA Works, and then other than that, man, I appreciate y'all. Because I know
I
we
don't.
tend to have. All right, that's cool. I still appreciate you because I know we have different opinions, and you
Oh, I
know,
thought you were talking about the fans. I don't appreciate them. Fuck them.
oh, I appreciate y'all too.
Hey, Lando, you just came back, motherfucker. I was about to shout you out. Now I don't even know if they want that. Shit.
But yeah, man. I don't know. I enjoy these conversations, even if
Yeah.
sometimes I'm wrong. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, but
So I appreciate y'all.
yeah, hell yeah. I never enter any type of conversation thinking I'm right. I'm always looking to learn. But if I think I'm right, I'm gonna go a little harder.
I'm gonna stand on it. Yeah.
King Dano.
I don't care what
Bully can
side you're
name
on.
anything.
All right, well, all right. I said my piece, I guess.
He said he don't care what vibe you on.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't care what side you're on. Right is right, wrong is wrong. We all people got to look out. Shout out to Hammerhead, Lando, Corey. You guys are the best, man. Best podcast out there. Y'all subscribe up.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate y'all guys. Appreciate Lando, man. See my boy in a whole minute. One of these podcasts, we're gonna be over there in person. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Appreciate everybody watching. Oh yeah, peace and love to everybody, man. That's what you gotta remember. Peace and love. What?
Ah,
Yeah,
Most people.
love, man. That's all I can. That's what I put out. So that's what I
unless
wanted.
you're,
You know what I mean?
well, unless you're a bugaboo. If you're a bugaboo,
If you're what?
a bugaboo, then I don't. Yeah.
Shit, I like a little bugaboo on me. Keep me on my
Mhm.
toes. You know what I'm saying? Keep me. Hey, I gotta know when to not to answer the call. You know what I'm saying? Little bugaboo. Nah, man. If you do got a bugaboo, you better keep it around or whatever. I'm not even gonna go. Hey, enjoy yourself out there, people. It's shouts out to Corey, King Dano, Lando. Love you guys. We are out of here. It's Bros Talk, T Broski.
Another session with the bros. Bros talk. Where the beer's ice cold. Bros talk. Another session with the bros.